Let me paint you a picture. You've got $10,000 sitting in your savings account right now. You worked hard for that money. You skipped vacations, you made coffee at home, you said no to things your friends were doing, and you saved it up. And every month you look at that number and you feel good about it, responsible even. Here's the thing though, that $10,000 you're so proud of, it's quietly disappearing. Not because someone stole it, not because you spent it, but because you did exactly what your parents told you to do. You saved it. And that's the trap that millions of people fall into every single year.
My name is Alexa, and I spend way too much time thinking about the difference between keeping your money safe and actually growing your money. If you're someone who has been saving diligently, doing everything right, but somehow still feels like you're not getting ahead financially, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, we're going to talk about something that sounds simple on the surface, saving versus investing. But the difference between these two things could literally mean the gap between struggling and retirement and never having to worry about money again. And I'm not being dramatic. I'm going to show you the actual math.
Okay, so let's start here. When most people hear saving versus investing, they immediately think saving is safe, investing is risky. And look, I get it. That's the narrative we've all been fed. But here's what most people don't realize. Doing nothing with your money is also a risk. It's just a slower, quieter, more socially acceptable risk. The math on $10,000. Say you're getting 4.5% in your savings account. Inflation is running at 3.3%. Your real return, your actual purchasing power gain, is about 1.2%. On $10,000, that's $120 a year in real terms. After taxes, you might net $80 or $90. But if inflation spikes to 5 or 6%, which it has very recently, your savings account is now losing you money in real terms. The number on the screen goes up, your actual purchasing power goes down. You feel safe, you're not. Now you might be thinking, Alexa, but what about the stock market? That's risky. People lose everything. And yes, we're going to talk about risk. But I need you to understand first that risk exists on both sides of this equation. The risk of investing is visible and scary. The risk of only saving is invisible and slow. And the invisible one is the one that destroys most people's financial futures. Saving is not bad, but it has a very specific job, and when you use it for the wrong job, you pay a massive price. Here's how I think about it. Saving is a parking lot. Investing is a highway. If you need to stop somewhere temporarily, you park. That makes sense. But you wouldn't park your car on a highway for 5 years and expect to get somewhere. That's not what the parking lot is for. What saving is actually for? Emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of expenses in a high-yield savings account. If you spend $3,000 a month, that's $9,000 to $18,000 in accessible cash. Its job isn't to grow. It's to be there when everything goes wrong. Short-term goals. Buying a house in 2 years? Save for the down payment. Don't invest it. Planning a wedding next year? Save it. Saving is perfect for goals within 1 to 3 years. I want to show you two people. Let's call them Sarah and Mike. Both 25 years old, both have $500 a month for their financial future. Sarah, the saver. $500 a month into a savings account at 4.5% for 40 years. Result? At 65, about $710,000. Mike, the investor. $500 a month into a simple S&P 500 index fund at a conservative 8% for 40 years. Result at 65? $1,750,000. Same $500, same 40 years. The difference? Over $1 million, just from choosing the right vehicle for long-term money. And here's the part that really messes with your head.
Mike didn't work harder, he didn't take some crazy risk, he didn't pick individual stocks or gamble on crypto, he just put money into a boring index fund and left it alone.
So, if the math is this clear, why don't more people invest? Why is it that 56% of Americans say they don't invest in the stock market at all, according to Gallup? There are three main reasons people choose saving over investing, and none of them are about logic. Reason 1, loss aversion. Losing $100 feels psychologically twice as painful as gaining $100 feels good. So when people think about investing, their brain doesn't think, I could gain $1,000. It thinks, what if I lose $1,000? The antidote is time horizon. If you're investing for 30, 40 years, short-term volatility is essentially noise. Reason 2, complexity paralysis. What fund do I pick? What's an ETF? What's a Roth IRA versus a traditional IRA? When people feel confused, they do nothing. Nothing feels safe. Nothing doesn't require making a decision you might get wrong. Here's what most people don't realize. You don't need to understand all of that to get started. Reason 3, present bias. Our brains are wired to value the present much more than the future. Retirement is 30, 40 years away? That's abstract. A nice dinner tonight? A new phone? That's real and immediate. This is why people say, I'll start investing when I make more money, and then when they make more money, they upgrade their lifestyle and still don't start. Here's the simplest framework for someone just starting out. Step 1, hit your employer match. If your employer matches 50% of contributions up to 6% of your salary, that's an immediate 50% return on your money. If you make $60,000, that's $1,800 in free money every year. Don't skip this. Step 2, build your emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of expenses in a high-yield savings account. Without this, one bad month forces you to pull from investments at the worst possible time. Step 3, open a Roth IRA. Up to $7,000 per year, 2024, grows tax-free, no taxes on withdrawals and retirement. Open one at Fidelity, Vanguard, or Schwab. Takes about 15 minutes. Step 4, invest in index funds. Don't pick individual stocks. Don't try to time the market. Buy a simple S&P 500 index fund, VOO, FSKAX, or SWTSX, and set up automatic monthly contributions. That's it. Step 5, increase contributions over time. Every time you get a raise, increase your investment contribution before you adjust your lifestyle. If you get a $5,000 raise, bump your monthly investing by $200 to $300 before you even see that money in your checking account.
What about 2008? The S&P 500 dropped a 57% from peak to bottom. But if you were 30 in 2007, the market fully recovered by 2013, then tripled from there. The lesson from 2008 isn't don't invest. It's don't invest money you need short-term and don't panic sell. I only have $50 a month. It's not worth it. $50 a month at 8% for 35 years is about $105,000 from $50 a month. The amount matters less than the habit and the time. Start small. Just start.
When you only save, you are dependent on your own labor forever. Your income stops when you stop. That's an incredibly fragile position to be in. When you invest, you're building assets that generate returns while you sleep, a machine that works 24/7 regardless of whether you show up. That's the shift from financial fragility to financial resilience. The wealthiest people in the world are not wealthy because they save more aggressively. They're wealthy because they own assets, stocks, real estate, businesses. Saving keeps you treading water. Investing gets you to shore.
So here's where I want to leave you. If you have money sitting in a savings account beyond your emergency fund and short-term goals, that money has a job to do, and it's currently unemployed. Today, not next month, not when the market feels safer, not when you've done more research. Today, open a brokerage account or fund your Roth IRA and put that money to work. The best time to invest was 10 years ago.
The second best time is right now. The math doesn't lie. Time in the market will almost always beat any other strategy you come up with, and every month you wait is a month of compound growth you'll never get back. If this video helped you see saving and investing differently, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new because we cover this stuff every week. And drop a comment below. Tell me where you're at right now. Are you team savings account or have you started investing? I read every comment and I want to know.